The journey of media and the journey of our country, to be very honest, actually unfolds in places like Pathankot. It's in these small places, when you come here, you realize what are the challenges, what is it that's really driving our country. I'm standing here before you today to speak about something which is passion of mine. I'm associated with this business, I'm associated with this profession. So it does trouble me when I put this question up on the board. Is legacy media dead? It's a straight question, it's a blunt question. And the reason why I put this question up is legacy media dead or is legacy media dying? Because of the kind of feedback that we always get when we come to towns like Pathankot. It's when you come here. I belong to Varanasi in eastern UP. It's when you travel to these towns, when people like you ask us questions, why is the media behaving in a certain way or not behaving in a certain way? Why is it that questions that need to be raised are not being raised? That's what convinces me that there is a fundamental problem with the model which has been followed so far with the legacy media. Over the next few minutes, I'll try and take you through my journey has been, and I'll try and put some questions before you, hopefully with some answers, which will give all of you a broad understanding of what we need to do to ensure that there are enough checks and balances in this great profession of ours. Why do I say is legacy media dead? I want to begin firstly by playing a short little video. It's a video which has been prepared by someone who claims to be a watchdog on media. And when we play that video, you will see where legacy media has gone wrong. In our attempts to titillate, in our attempts to not enlighten you, not inform you, but in the attempt to entertain you somewhere. You got to ask yourself, is the job of legacy media to inform you, enlighten you, educate you, or is it to entertain you? So let's play the video which has been prepared by Team News Laundry and see where this entire story really begins. Okay. Can we play the video? Yeah.
हल्ला बोल, कश्मीर फाइल्स और जहांगीरपुरी दंगे पर किए गए शो के लिए उन्हें अवार्ड दिया गया।
Oh wait, she also got an award. जहांगीरपुरी की very unusual reporting के लिए।
हम मौजूद हैं ट्रेन में और यही ट्रेन चलाकर अलग अलग जगहों पर जो ट्रेन है गिरा, आपने कौन सा तोड़ा भी?
You see, News Laundry always recognizes talent. We knew this reporting was worthy of appreciation. हमने तो दिया भी था अंजना जी को अवार्ड, तोड़ू रिपोर्टिंग ऑफ द ईयर अवार्ड। ENBA ने मैवरिक अवार्ड नहीं दिया तो क्या हुआ? Between Sudhir and Anjana, we at News Laundry definitely feel Anjana is the maverick here.
उसको पूरा नहीं गिराया, आपने सिर्फ लिंटर गिराया, ऊपर वाला पार्ट गिराया, इसकी क्या वजह है?
भाया, जल्दी जल्दी गिराओ। Not only does she report on bulldozing, she also assists it. That's a maverick.
So, when you see this video, you look at the question which is being posed. This is I don't intend to sort of denigrate anybody, but the reality is when we've reached a stage where in order to entertain, if you're asking the bulldozer driver, have you demolished the linter of the house? And if so, why have you not demolished the linter of the house? There is a serious problem there. And that's what brings me back to my submission. It is, if legacy media continues in this direction, very soon it will end up being redundant. Let me move to the next question. If we'll play the next graphic, you play. Now the question which we have today, it's simply clear. Is it ever possible to have a totally free media? Right. Growth of internet, is it adversely impacting neutrality? The whole problem before us today is in our attempts to entertain basically. Right? We've lost our neutrality, we've lost the ability to bring in new facts on the ground, We are simply flowing with the tide. And therefore, I argue that internet media, new age media versus legacy media is a battle which I think is slowly settling in favor of new age media. Look at the recently concluded 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Just look at the coverage anywhere. While these questions will continue to play in the background, I've put these questions up for you to turn the spotlight simply by asking yourself one question. If every day you're spending 1 hour of your time in watching TV news, are you gaining something by that exercise of sitting in front of TV? Or is it that you're watching TV because then you want to go on YouTube, you want to go on other digital platforms to figure out what was being narrated in front of you on television? Does it need to have a counter via any of these new age platforms? My view is that because of penetration of internet, access to smartphones, just look at, everybody who's here, everybody has a smartphone. And I always find that every time, you go to a platform like this and if you say something which is let's say in the domain of facts or in the domain of information, immediately people like to go online to check whether what is being stated from the stage, is it right, is it not right. That's where I think the fundamental challenge to legacy media has really come. We have friends today from various parts of the world, former ministers here from Europe, and we were having a chat in the morning about the economic conditions in Europe. Economy, politics, both can thrive or both can be completely decimated if you end up being challenged in an era of disinformation. Internet is only an enabler. It's just an enabler for you to be able to fact check, to be able to maybe ask yourselves what is being stated from the stage. Is it something A, worth your while, and B, is it truth or is it not true? You may also ask yourself that is there anything called absolute truth? What is absolute truth? Is it ever possible to have a totally free media? Right? Absolute truth and free media, can they coexist? There is an answer, but that answer not necessarily, it's not a complete yes and it's not a complete no. And why is it not a complete yes and why is it not a complete no? Simply because the lines between fact and fiction, between truth and lie, have blurred to the extent where people now say that you're in a post-truth world. If you've been following the US elections, look at the kind of commentary which is going on online platforms and on legacy media platforms. I was watching a broadcast by someone who used to be a big anchor in a major American network, Megyn Kelly. Now she's a very contentious figure, very contentious person, but she has chosen to move away from a major television station because she believes that she will not be able to bring out truth the way she sees if she remains a part of the television network. And today, her online audience is 4 times more than the audience she commanded when she was a part of a television station. Now look at the commercial propositions which are associated with it. Look at Elon Musk. Every day, the founder of the present owner of Twitter platform, which is now known as X, every day he's putting out stuff out there where he's challenging what is being stated by legacy media. There are big anchors, there are big media professionals who all moved away from legacy media, moving on to their own digital platforms, only and only with the desire of putting out facts and putting out truths the way they see, in a manner which is consumable, in a manner which may be likable. Freedom to choose. You have the freedom to choose. The media professionals also have freedom to choose. Legacy media, unfortunately, is not providing you with that freedom. Whether you're a viewer, whether you're a consumer, or you happen to be a practitioner of this trade. So every time, folks, you go up there and you switch on a television channel, do remember this video that we played today, because that is what television, that is what print, unfortunately, has been reduced to. Let me also share a personal story with you. Just yesterday, I was in a conversation with a major legacy media baron, and we were talking about what has gone wrong. What has gone wrong with media and what is it that needs to change? And truth be told, I realized that legacy media today is driven so much by conventional business, by conventional business practices, that it's not possible to bring about any kind of a major decisive change. The reason why I have moved on from legacy media, and that's where my story comes into play, is also because I would like to have freedom to choose. I would like to have freedom to disseminate information the way I foresee it, the way I believe information needs to be supplied to you. So I run my own platform called the squirrels.in, and if you do a comparison of what we do there versus what I used to do when I was part of major television stations earlier, you will find the difference. It's exactly the comparison which we have made, which I have made in the context of Megyn Kelly and what's happening in the US. What happens in future? Let's look to the future. We're now in the era of AI. The growth of internet, will also lead to this question, because artificial intelligence is something which is not a thing of future. It is of the present. It is unfolding right in front of you. Now, let me give you an example of 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The whole buzz was that there was a fake video. There was one video which was supposedly not a real video. It was a fake video which was attributed to a top cabinet minister, and that ended up circulating, the rank and file of our voting masses. And that ended up creating a huge buzz. It created a major talking point which was used by the political opposition. In the era, in times of videos or information which will make you feel that all this is very neutral, all this is very objective, but guess what? It never happened. It's actually a lie. It's actually a fake stuff. That's the other big challenge which will happen. And that challenge is also coming in an online world. It's coming via the internet only, and it will maybe force you to look out for more such platforms like the ones that we have created. Human intelligence cannot be replaced, folks. So they can be bots, right? They can be robotic influence on information gathering mechanism, on information dissemination mechanism, but human mind is not going to be replaced, is something which I can share with you very openly. I was reading a recent article in The Economist where the whole focus was that if you had the human intelligence of, let's say, 10 Elon Musk or 10 Mark Zuckerbergs, what is it that you could have created? Could you have created a replica, say, of the Republican Party? Could you have created a replica, say, of a Democratic Party? Will we come to a time in our lifetimes where the combined intelligence quotient of a lot of these individuals could be put together to create a big robot? And is that robot going to be as powerful, as big as all these mighty professions? I hope that time doesn't come. But let me also say this to you, that at some stage, the challenge will be in front of you. So I wind up and I wrap up with one limited request to all of you. Kindly, every time you pick up a newspaper or every time you read, you see something on a television channel, kindly do not completely buy what is being told to you. Because what is being told to you is coming with a lot of preconceived prejudices, a lot of preconceived biases. The only way for you to beat these preconceived notions, preconceived biases, is for you to look out for certain number of online platforms. That's where the information is, that's where the democratization of information is taking place. That should be your access point, not necessarily legacy media. Thank you so much for being such patient and lovely listeners.